how I wrote the Rhoids. I wrote the Rhoids in 2022. It was one of those days where it was very painful. And at the time, I had just finished up the recording and publication of Breakfast and Lunch Volume 1. So I had a lot of energy left, and I had some beats left from David Kenny. I was ready to keep going, keep going. And so I had about 10 instrumentals from him. David Kenny is my producer and the chief producer and engineer of Breakfast and Lunch 1, 2, and 3. So I had some beats from him that I was listening to. Always like to have some extra beats around. You never know when inspiration might strike, right? Right. And so I was listening to one of those beats early in the day, still that evening, and then I put it on pause, and I went into the washroom to do my business, and that pain was there. And this is really how a lot of songs come to be for me. I was just saying to myself like, I've got a bad case of the Rhoids. No, I just said that I thought that like I have a bad case of the Rhoids, but then it synced with that particular instrumentals. I was like, oh, I've got a bad case of the Rhoids and I need you. And then, finished my business, washed my hands. And then I went out and I just went to listen to the instrumental, and I just started to record it into my voice recorder. Got a bad case of the Rhoids and I need you up in the millions. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Yeah. So the hook was essentially what I had, and it was so good. I liked how he sounded. I recorded it and I sent it to him, to David Kenny, and he was like, "Ah, guy, I like that flow. He sent a voice note where he imitated the sound. Ideally, I should play that for you right now because I usually do not delete stuff like that. But we've had too many voice notes in the past few years, so if I wanted, I could track it. But no, I'm not doing that work. Sorry. I also have deleted that chat. Anyway, say enough explanation. Um, But he was like, yo, I like that. I like that. I see what you did there. I like that melody. Nice one, nice one, nice one, nice one, nice one. So David Kenny is always happy when I write songs to his instrumentals now because those are his creations. And an instrumental is like a horse. No matter how glorious a horse is, it needs a rider. So when he finds a rider for his horse and the rider is charging it well, commandeering it well, he's naturally going to be excited now. Honestly, I think that producers are a very unique set of people because they are getting paid twice. And this is what I mean. Now, if I brought my instrumental, I would ask him to mix, so he's going to get paid. No, let's even leave it the way it is. He has his instrumental, right? I write to it, I record to it. That's the first payment, the fulfillment of seeing something you created come to life that way. And knowing that now it's going to be heard by the world, people are going to hear your beats and see it used so well. That's the first payment. And the second payment is now I actually pay you for what you created and for you packaging it. It's a double payment for him. So I look at him sometimes like I know what you're doing. You're enjoying yourself that and I'm paying for that. So that's kind of funny. Of course, that's of course, there's more to say to it than that. But here's an analogy just came to mind. You know when the mother of Moses was she put Moses in a basket and withdrew, and then Miriam, his sister, smartly went to Pharaoh's daughter and said, "Oh, hey, I found this baby. What should I do?" Yeah, bring it. And then she brings it. We say, "Oh," the Pharaoh's daughter says, "Oh, how do we take care of this baby? And again, Miriam very smart says, oh, I know a woman, I know a maid that can take care of this baby for you. I want you to get Moses' mother. What? And now Moses' mother is paid to take care of her own son. She's paid as a nanny. They don't know that she's a mother. That's a double pleasure. First, she's taking care of her son. She needs no payment for that. She's happy to do that. She's fulfilled to do that. That's like David Kenny being happy that someone's using his beats. And then she's getting paid as well for that. Like that was just masterful strategy. Let's give a round of applause to Miriam for such you know for such brilliant thinking. You know, Miriam, you're in heaven right now. I just want you to know that that was brilliant of you. So yeah, I think that must have been an idea from from God. Anyway, and I think that is the double pleasure that producers experience. To be fair, artists also experience that. Um, even though the present one we get is the joy of releasing, the second layer would be getting paid from that, and that doesn't always happen. But we won't give up. We keep hoping and praying. Fast forward to so that was how the song that was how the song first came to be. The hook, I wrote it in 2022, and it was just about the pain of having hemorrhoids, and it's a crazy feeling. That was maybe the worst pain that I had ever had from it. And it was just one of those songs that stayed on the bench, like we'll make you when we have the money for you. Fast forward to last year, 2025. I think I was having that pain again, or I just remember that song. I do not know why I selected it to come out of hiding, but I did. As an artist, you always have lots of song ideas, but you can't make all of them at the same time now because you don't have the money for that, or the time, or whatever resource it takes, especially if you have a full time job doing other things. But just last year, the song came back to my mind. Could have been because I was also listening to a series on healing. I'm always listening to a series on healing. I need to be healed now of all of this kind of stuff. And so I think I was just in that space, headspace of healing for that. And I think I remember that song. Now, remember in 2022, I just had the hook. And really, honestly, once you have a hook, you have everything you need. The rest is just to build around it. So I had the hook, and it was like, how do I flesh this out into a song? I think I had the first few lines as well. The pain keeps coming back. She a spiritual attack. I don't pray, pray fast, fast, and it's right back. And so last year, just at work, I remember I was in the study at home, and most of the time when I write in my mind. I don't grab a paper or pen. So I was just kind of, yeah. So I finished that, Beep out the cream, this and that. Yeah, actually, a part of the first verse was already written in 2022, but last year, 2025, I still started to push it further along, write a hook for it, like this, write out a fuller verse for it, the structure for it. Then verse two as well was last year. Do I believe? I do believe, because I was really in my heart, like Lord, I know you can heal me, but I don't know. And so that was essentially the hook. I want to call out here how much I had grown as a songwriter between those 2 years, 2022 and 2025. And a lot of that was in large parts to working with David Kenny, my producer. Let's give him a round of applause there. Yeah. Like one of the things that I learned from David Kenny was just the ability to just relax. No, because I'm a lyricist, right? I say meaningful things in my songs. But he was telling me like, yeah, sometimes you can just be laid back. You can just relax. A song is more than the words. Sometimes it's the feeling behind it. It's the emotion behind it. Like, don't become too focused on the words that you sometimes obstruct other songs that aren't strong lyrically, but are strong emotionally, strong in other ways, strong comically, strong thematically, and all that stuff. So, I mean, that's a bar. I mean, shout out to me right there for putting those words together right there. That's me. I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, um, yeah, I just allowed my mind to express how it felt. Then I had the idea of putting the sermon clip, Pastor Chris Onoyenka. Shout out to that great man of God. Come on, let's give it up for that great man of God. I'm about doing it, Avi. But yeah, he has definitely been a godsend to me in the past few years. My main teacher, main spiritual teacher. He doesn't know me, but I keep prophesying this. We're gonna meet someday in an airport. I'll be passing by, then I'll be like, is that him? Then I'll go to him. Then I'll prostrate. Then he and his entourage will be like, yeah, I know. And then other people like, what's going on? And then we'll sit down, we'll talk. So that's gonna happen. Watch out for that. Yeah. So the crux of a sermon by him that I've been listening to was just believe God's word when it comes to healing. Stand by it, practice it, and that's what I just made into the bridge. Then we one of the challenges that I was having with the song was I don't make Christian music. I just make music that I believe in. Not because I'm a Christian. Some Christianity flows into the songs, but I'm not trying to be doing COA income. I'm not trying to make music for the church or anything like that. So, but I still had that conflict within me to say, how do I make a song that expresses my experience, but still ends it with like faith in God and my hope, because that's who I am as a Christian ultimately. I think my music is more like Job and David music that just expresses the reality of a believer, not music like what you see in the book of Revelations, where they're casting their crowns and it's like, oh, you're so glorious. When we get to heaven, we'll all sing that. We won't sing the kind of one I'm singing now because there'll be no more pain and all that stuff. That's a bar, but let me not clap. Um, so I wanted the song to reflect that balance of, yes, I'm speaking about my reality, but I'm also showing faith, so that this is not a just a nonsensical song about suffering. Although I should say that's okay too. Based on where I am now, if I had felt that way, like if I knew what I know now, I might have allowed myself to just make a song that is just about pain, because that's okay too. Like, we grieve, we have those feelings, we have those moments. I'm not saying this song should be the entirety of your Christian existence. I used to write songs with that feeling, to feel like it has to be a magnum opus and say everything that needs to be said about everything. Now, I no longer feel that way. So I'll let myself write a song that just expresses one feeling or one thought. That's some artistic growth right there. Let me hit it. Yeah, yeah, that's some artistic growth right there. So yeah, but at the time I wanted the song to reflect all of that pain, but hope and faith, because that truly is the disposition of my heart. Like, God, I need you to heal this. I needed Christians or anybody to be able to listen to the song, enjoy it, enjoy the reality, the relatability, the humor, because it's pretty funny to be singing a song about hemorrhoids, right? But yeah, wanted it to be a whole meal. Take away with your veggies and your protein, and not just the carbs. Come on, yeah, yeah. So uh, we succeeded, I would say, with making that song a classic. I like to make songs that you can come back to in 10 years, and this was full, this was complete, just by a thoughtful person, and that each song should represent who I am. So that's true, and we did that with a song. As I said, also it's okay and fine to make a song that does not represent everything about me. It could just be bubblegum music. That's okay. We need bubblegum sometimes, don't we? Yeah. So Instrumental was by David Kenny, mixing and mastering by David Kenny, lyrics by myself, recording and vocals by myself, of course. Um, Additional vocals by Shagun Onoenka. It's very interesting to say that because initially I felt because he's a lawyer now. What if he goes ballistic and is like, oh, why do you use my song? Yeah, I was saying, well. Anyway, I thought about that. Like, allow now, for boys. What if I, of course, to be realistic, he's not gonna. I did. You see this here? I'll put it here. I did send him a tweet though, letting him know that I had used his vocals on the song because I'm a very thorough person. I like to do things properly. So I thought it would be good to let him know. There have been times when I wanted to use an artist's vocals on a song, and they didn't always react the way I would have thought. It's usually artists who are still like kind of young, and really they have every right to feel that way. I would feel that way if someone told me they were using my music and they just messaged me. They are not asking for permission. I remember reaching out a lady. What's her name now? It's a jazz singer, Sha, in Lagos, and I just tweeted at her like, "Oh hey, I'm doing something with your song." And she was like, "Oh, if you want to do something with my song, talk to my lawyer. Can you go? What's wrong with this?" But I understand. So anyway, I like to be thorough, so I did send him that message just for me, for maybe he would listen, maybe he would care, maybe he would say, "Sure, let me hear it," that sort of thing. But of course, he didn't say anything. Someday I might tell him though when I see him in the airport. Someday I might see him when I see him in the airport and say, "Hey, hear the song." I think the song is such that he will like it because it does represent his legacy, and which is the priority of God's word. So that's how that came to be. We're really proud of it. And so altogether, the song is just about the reality of pain, bodily illness, and the pursuit of faith and healing, which is beautiful. And a third thing, which is in the song, is just the humor of it, because who wrote a song about hemorrhoids? I am certainly, without a doubt, the first person in the universe to do that. Um, yeah. Of course, praise to the Lord. Praise to the Lord, of course. But yeah, I will end with this to say that this song is classic Taiwo Ash. Vulnerability, personal storytelling, honesty. That's one bundle. Then spirituality, faith, Christianity, another bundle. And then personality, humor, and rascality. That's another bundle. So that's how this song came to be. I'm very grateful also that I did the album art myself. In the past year, I've become so much more skilled with anything multimedia by God's grace. I won't clap there, but I want to. Maybe I should just do that. You know what I mean? It's like I did the album art myself, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I remember the time when we used to pay people for album art. I should say that you don't need to pay people for album art because unless you really can't do it yourself, or unless you are a high end artist where there'll be professionals who would take care of that for you, or you just have a lot of cash to spare. I used to do that, but I didn't. I did it because I was too impatient, too anxious, too finicky about the end result, and that's the reason I used to do those things. So, but now I do it myself, and this is so good. In case you can't tell, the silver thing is a suppository. I should have gotten one to show you here, but the suppository is the treatment according to as prescribed by Western medicine anyway. The treatment for a roid. So you, yeah, kind of gross. But yeah, you slip it in there, and so that's what it looks like. I just had that idea one day while I was administering it to myself. I saw the pack on the toilet sink. I'm like, oh, this is so clear. This would make a good visual for the art, and so that's where I got that idea. And because I've become a lot more confident when it comes to design, I can now let a design sit without cluttering it with too much. So I just let it sit, white space, my name, classic. So that is definitely another part of this project that I am so proud of. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. So that's how it all came together, and really glad that you heard it. I think that this song is one of the places where I sound a lot like Barna, that lower octave, but still melodic, still meaningful, lyrical, and just beautiful. And shout out to David Kenny as well for his creative mixing. He did a really good job with that. The mix is not just audible; it's creative. What he did there, I do, all those effects he did. Love it. Um, some people will say that they didn't hear some parts of the song. Well, that's a mix of maybe the way I just sound. Maybe I could get better with my recording, but also I was in. There's a part where the part I say nobody's in the first verse. I was in Toronto. I had left Vancouver. I was in Toronto for a work trip. Worked in tech at the time, and I was just 2020, yeah, last year. And David Kenny wanted me to resend the lines, those two lines, because I decided that I didn't want to say some vulgar. So yes, I was originally something a bit too explicit in those lines, and I decided that I should put something more decent. And so when I go to the hotel room or the Airbnb we were staying, I just recorded that with my iPhone in the closet and then sent it to him. And he said it worked, and I thought it worked. I didn't want us to delay with getting back to Vancouver, then setting this up to recording. So that's why it may sound a little different, but really it's fine, it's clear. But we felt that because of what I'm saying there is a bit private, and that it's okay for it not to be too clear. And so that's why. All right, so that's the story of how I made the Rhoids. I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you. I do pray that someday I will have enough funds to do a music video for this song or for all my songs. In Jesus' name. Oh man. Cheers.